Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We're here with another live stream. It's been a while since we've done one of these, especially one that I'm talking on. But we are here with wow. Okay, there's the audio cutting in. Let's turn that down a bit because that is going to be very loud. I already had it turned down, but that is very loud. Anyways, welcome. Here we are. For those of you who don't know, Mike Brady from Oceanliner Designs has been working hard with his team, making us a perfect little experience here. It's called Ship Explorer. Just came out today, fresh off the press. There's currently two vessels available to explore inside it. We've got the SS United States, and we also have the Morro Castle. And there's a very interesting level with the Morro Castle that we're going to check out. So we're going to check out these two today on the live stream. We have DLCs. This DLC isn't out yet, but the Bismarck is coming in the future. So if you like this video and you want to see more when the DLC comes out, we'll definitely take a look at it. If you just want to let me know in the chat, is everything okay? How does all the volume sound? Is everything nice and clear? You can hear everything? And we'll just make sure that we have clear audio before we get started. But yeah, I've been waiting for this for a while. It was announced, I think, a couple of months ago. This is not the Grand Voyage game that is coming out later. This is kind of a teaser and a tester for before that game comes out. So we have this to enjoy while we wait for a Grand Voyage. Cool. Okay, we've got good audio. So let's have a look first at the United States. Now, this is a very, very interesting ship. It's been in the news a lot recently as well, as you know, and it tells us a little bit of information here about the ship. And you can see this was done in collaboration with the Conservancy, which is really nice to see that they reached out to help. So you can see just some facts here about its maiden voyage, its tonnage, its length, top speed as well. Still one of the fastest passenger ships ever to cross the Atlantic, which I think is just absolutely phenomenal that that record still has not been beat and is still being held by the United States. I think that's just amazing. But as you can see, it tells us the fate, and unfortunately the ship will be sunk off the coast of Florida as part of an artificial reef. It is currently in Mobile, Alabama, being prepared for being deployed to become a reef, so they're taking off all the kind of like hazardous materials and stuff like that. But there will be some relics on board that will be preserved and will be taken off the ship before it is sunk, thankfully. I believe the funnels, both of them, are going to be pulled off before they sink the ship, so it's going to look kind of weird when we start seeing videos of it going down without its funnels, because they're kind of a signature look for the ship and for the United States line as well. But enough talking about that. Let's actually go in and have a look. Now, there's two levels here, so we have one at sea, and the one that I'm very looking forward to is the dry dock, because, well, we'll get into that when we get to it, but we'll start with going around on the ship at sea first, and we'll see what we can find. I believe there's some quests. Oh, we have a video. Let's listen to this.
United States as our camera picks her up out of New York on her history of the Atlantic. You're welcome aboard while we make these photographs which point up the luxury and comfort of the $73 million, 53,000-ton floating city. The churning wake as she moves cleanly through the water, a ship racing smoothly at full speed. Aboard the First Lady of the Seas is the daughter of the President. The ship's skipper, Commodore Manning, invites Miss Margaret Truman up to the bridge. Then, past 6 in the morning, they share an historic moment. The United States breaks the transatlantic record. Jubilant passengers stayed awake all night to witness the finish at Bishop Rock on the southwest coast of England. Next, the first docking at Le Havre, France. The unparalleled time of the crossing was 3 days, 10 hours, 40 minutes, beating the Queen Mary's time by 10 hours and... A sailor's welcome for the Blue Ribbon winner, a ship that averaged 36 knots on the 2,942-mile crossing, or about 41 land miles an hour. Now on to Southampton, England for the next stop. And here begins a greeting true to the tradition of a great seafaring nation. Sure, the United States beat the best time of a British liner, but there's matchless sporting blood in a nation that loves ships. Generous tribute is paid to the American craft and craftsmanship. aboard the ship are astonished, overwhelmed by the reception, its warmth and sincerity. Britain's unforgettable salute to the liner United States.
Wow, that was very cool. Let me just turn that down, guys. 1 second. There we go. Okay, I love how they showed us kind of those movie. I think it's movie tone, or it might have been one of the old newsreels, kind of that they used to play. I think it's really cool. That's like real footage from back in the 50s when the United States would have been crossing the Atlantic. It gives you a real sense of that era that is not really around anymore. So here we are, the SS United States en route to Southampton, 1952. We're getting a nice fly around angle here of the ship. It looks absolutely stunning. Textures look great, the model looks great, the, you know, sky lighting, everything, it looks phenomenal. Beautiful angles there, really nice angles coming up. You can see the company flag there being flown at the mast. Okay, and here we go. I am the captain, Mr. Captain. Here we go. I like that, lovely. Okay, and we have, what do we have here? We have some controls. So, E is to interact with items. We can open the weather changer. That's really cool. That's something I want to play around with. H is for the horn. Tab lets us open photo mode. Something else that I definitely want to play around with as well. And we have a third-person mode as well. Cool. I don't think we'll play around with the third person. It kind of makes it more gamey. We don't really want that. But yeah, wow, here we are. We are on the bridge. We're on the bridge right. I was watching the kind of people playing it early, seeing what they were doing. Apparently you can have a lot of fun with the movement of the character. So we'll definitely do some of that in a minute. But there's collector items to be found. Here's one of them. So if you pick it up, it actually shows you, it's a picture from on board. That is amazing, and it tells you some facts about it. I'm not going to read out every one of them. If I see one that I think is important, I'll read it out, but I'll let you just, I'll leave this up for a minute. I already picked up this one when I was testing earlier. But I think it's amazing that they were able to get these high-res scans from the Conservancy and put them into the game. It just looks really, it makes it look really professional. I think it's a really smart idea. So we have, while we're outside, we might as well get a look at the phones and we'll blast the horn and see what it sounds like. Wow. That is very cool. Very, very cool. I don't think there's many ship simulators that let you do stuff like that. Now, this wouldn't be classified as a ship simulator, but it's more kind of a walking around museum experience. But I think it's very well done. It's very pretty. We have another picture here. Very cool. It looks like the captain is giving a tour of the bridge to some passengers here. It's actually, oh, it's the daughter of President Truman. Okay. So he's on the bridge getting a tour, obviously. Is this... oh, it's on the maiden voyage as well. Wow, so this is the first... crossing of the Atlantic for the United States, and they've got the tour bridge going on. They're in full swing. She's even at the helm. That's brilliant. Very cool. And as you can see, yes, the United States had two helms. I actually have no idea. Unfortunately, like, my knowledge on this ship is not the best, so like I do not know why it had two, because I don't think it had two rudders. It only had one rudder, so I don't know why it needed two wheels. But it's very nice to see the bridge, because I have a few models of the United States, but none of them have a bridge in them. So it's really nice to see a 3D model of the bridge, you know, getting a look at the telegraphs, the helm, like even all these switchboards here. And we have another picture here. You can see the telegraphs in full swing there, and there's officers there operating them. So the telegraphs, as we know, these would have been used to communicate with the engine room when they wanted to change the speeds of the ship, if they wanted to put it in reverse, if they wanted to go full ahead. They would pull these levers and it would send a response to the engine room on similar telegraphs down there, and they would communicate with each other that way, because there was no real other way to communicate at the time. You know, they didn't really have radios or walkie-talkies that they could just reach out with. Well, here we go. We have a few things here. Another picture. The officers are inspecting the bridge equipment, which was extremely modern for its time, as you can see. Wow, very impressive. These images are outstanding. The quality of them, I'm really impressed. Like it's actually gorgeous. Like how high res these pictures are for for being over half a century old. We saw that one already. Um, you can see our reflection there. We have some textures here, very nice views here, and you can see we're well underway on our way to Southampton. You can just walk all the way through. I think it's very forgiving. Yeah, you can sprint as well. It's very forgiving in the way there's not many barriers. Like we can kind of go wherever we want, and I like that. I like that a lot. Like if I want to run along the railing, I can, which I think is really nice. There's the flags being flown, and you see we're on the officer's deck now, and we have something here that we can interact with. Well, would you look at this? Welcome aboard. As you explore the ship and take in her many details, keep an eye out for interactive features. You'll hear factual narrations by our friend Mike Brody that highlight key elements of the ship, and you'll discover pieces of history throughout, found photographs placed throughout. We hope you enjoy stepping back in time to experience this truly remarkable vessel. It is. And there's some of our keybinds there at the bottom again. I have to say, I really like the overall UI design of the game. I think it's really well done. Oh, the rain is coming. Not good. We better head inside then. We don't want to get wet. When we go inside, there's a few doors I know we can interact with. I think this is one of them.
Behind this bulkhead was one of the ship's many fans, which drew in fresh air constantly to circulate throughout the ship.
There you go. That's something I didn't know that I do now. Amazing. I assume this might have been another one, or this might have been an entrance to like the crew quarters on board. I see, very smart that they don't have the rain droplets come in. Very good. And you can see everything's kind of lighted different in here now because it's gotten darker outside. Look at the rain on the glass, the droplets. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. We have another door here.
United States was designed with safety first and foremost in mind. Both the company's CEO, John Franklin, and its director, Vincent Astor, had direct personal ties to the Titanic disaster. Many of the key safety features were controlled in the room behind this bulkhead, the damage control room, which featured controls for fire alarms, smoke detection, watertight doors, and fire doors.
Very nice. Very cool. Can we go up the crow's nest, I wonder? Oh, yes we can. Well, we have to have a look up here. Ah, no, isn't this very cozy? On the United States, their crow's net was fully enclosed, so they didn't have to worry about the elements. They had nice glass to keep them safe, and they also had a nice roof. When you look at other ships compared, like Titanic and stuff, it was fully open. They only had the wall kind of in front of them, and they had nothing overhead to protect them. This looks nice and cozy now, and here we're safe from the rain. Very impressive view. Very nice. Here we have the searchlight. Oh, we have this here. I've always wondered what this is, actually. I thought it was I personally, I don't know. I'm going to guess before I interact with it. I think it is a lightning mast. For like a lightning rod to defer lightning strikes so that they hit this instead of other parts of the ship. Let's see if I'm right.
The DF loop was a crucial bit of navigation kit. It helped lock onto shore-based radio signals in any direction, which could help triangulate a detailed position on the map. It was especially useful alongside radar off the notoriously foggy US East Coast on approach to New York City.
Okay, so I was very, very wrong. That is not a lightning rod, it is for navigation. Okay. I always thought that was a lightning rod. Because I know ships have lightning rods on board them. Very interesting. So it's for navigation. I never would have guessed that. It doesn't look like anything that would be used for communications or anything. That is very interesting. We have the searchlights here then as well.
United States was fitted with searchlights on either side of the bridge. Really only for use in special circumstances, like if she was enveloped in fog, but they could also be used to flash Morse signals to distant ships.
Very cool. I've played around with one of my models and I've turned on these searchlights in fog and it looks very cool. You know, seeing these two big kind of beaming lights coming out over the fog. Thanks, man, for being here since 2020 from the Vehicle Simulator content. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, Vehicle Simulator. We still do it from time to time. We have actually something coming out pretty soon for Vehicle Simulator. By soon, I mean potentially next week. So keep an eye out for a Vehicle Simulator video next week. The weather's clearing up now. Isn't that lovely? Oh, that is lovely. What do we got here?
The flagboard was used to house the ship's various flags to be run up the halyards attached to the antenna mast. Anything from the house flag showing the colours of the United States lines to signal flags conveying United States intentions.
Very cool. Surprised that they kept them outside. I know that on some ships they keep the flags inside the bridge to, you know, obviously keep them safe from the elements, but they have this kind of special box here for them, which is interesting. No flags in there at the moment. I suppose the flags are being flown as we speak, so we have that to thank. We have some brooms here. These would have been for the deckhands, I assume, to keep the ship in top shape, to keep the decks looking clean, and getting any debris off them. We see some life rafts there as well. Now, it looks like, I assume this is for air ventilation.
These big mushroom vents fed air down to the fan rooms below, and drew fresh air into the ship to be run through the miles of trunking for cabins, public rooms, and machinery spaces.
Very nice. There's Big Tan is in the chat. Big Nathaniel, good to see you. Yeah, it's nice. We tried doing a stream a few weeks ago in Flight Simulator. It went horribly wrong. So this is kind of the first stream in a while that's working as of now. So far, so good. My game crashes when the shadows are enabled, even though my PC is not weak. Do you have your graphics driver? Make sure that it's on the latest version. Your graphics driver needs to be up to date, and you need to have the latest NVIDIA physics if you've got a NVIDIA graphics card. You need to make sure that it's up to date and play around with the settings. Like, you know, this game uses Lumen as the lighting engine, which is extremely demanding. Like, I'm only getting about 60 to 70 FPS here, and I have everything turned up. So you're not going to get like super amazing settings, because the Lumen lighting engine can be very demanding, but like it's worth it, I think, because look now as it's getting dark, look how pretty the funnels look with this lighting. It is absolutely gorgeous. We'll head down. Oh, we have another photo up. Oh, very cool. A lifeboat drill is going on. Boats were packed full of pure drinking water and tin cans, along with high-calorie foods, in case the boat should be cast adrift. Interesting. These lifeboats were very advanced as well. I believe they were probably going to miss stuff. Like, you know, I'm not. Oh wow, that looks very cool. The telegraphs lit up red. That's really interesting. I didn't know they lit up red. I thought they just would have lit up kind of like a white color. This kind of looks like a scene from like the film Battleship, you know, inside the warships and the dreadnoughts. Very cool. We have a is this a compass tower? Yes, it is indeed.
Bridge wings were crucial for docking and departure because they provided a fine, unobstructed view down the length of the ship's hull. United States bridge wings also have a polaris each, the kind of simplified compass used for maintaining bearing.
Very nice. And there would have been one of these on each side of the bridge wings. That's very nice. Now, as I was saying, the lifeboats is what I wanted to talk about. These lifeboats are pretty fancy. They've all got their own individual propulsion unit. So while I'm sure there were oars available for them so that manual rowing could be done, they had their own propulsion. So they were motorized, which is very interesting. It looks like they're made out of aluminum as well, which a lot of the ship was. A lot of the ship was made out of aluminum, which made it very light, which is one of the reasons it was able to go so fast. We have an interaction thing here for the lifeboat davit.
Two small emergency boats sat on quick-acting davits either side of the forward deckhouse. These could get a swift boat over the side at high speed in the case of any kind of man-overboard situation.
Ah yes, so that's why this lifeboat on this side looks different to all the other ones that are running down the deck, because these davits were able to launch the boat quicker. So there's another one on the other side that'd be the exact same. The reason for that is, as Michael said, in case of a man overboard situation, they'd be able to lower the boat nice and quick. And I just noticed Is that another ship over there? Well, well, well. Would you look who it is? If I'm not mistaken, that is the SS United States sister ship, the SS America, over there. Looks like it's also on a crossing to Southampton as well. I wonder who's going to get there first. That is very interesting. That is a very nice feature. Look how far away it actually is. You have to zoom in all the way to see it. But it looks like it is the... unless it's a glitch, where... Oh, it looks like it's disappearing into the fog. Unless that's a glitch, where they've duplicated the ship, I think that was SS America, which is the sister ship. This is very cool to see.
The ship's plans show a dedicated cabin for the pilot, a knowledgeable local expert who came aboard to assist in docking and departures. Maintaining such a tight schedule meant that sometimes there was not enough time to let the pilot off, so he was assigned his own cabin just in case he'd have to be along for the ride.
Now, there's a luxury you wouldn't have seen on many ocean liners at the time. The pilot getting its own dedicated cabin on board the ship. So the pilot would be brought on board when a ship was arriving, just before a ship would arrive in port, to help navigate the ship in to the port, because they would be more familiar with the waters and they'd know kind of where the shallow points are, and they'd be able to plot a course to bring the ship safely in. It would be the same for when a ship would be departing. They would be on board, and then a tugboat would come up once they're out in the open water and would take them off the ship. But it's very nice to see that there is a cabin dedicated to them in case they weren't able to get off and they had to stay on for the entire voyage. It's very nice to see. Now, I know we've kind of been at the front. We're gonna kind of, I think, make our way down. We can run our way along. We can go down to the promenade, but I'm kind of intrigued to click on all these interaction points, because they're very interesting facts.
The captain's cabin was huge. It was behind this bulkhead and was about the same size as the executive officer's stateroom and office combined. Like the other senior officers, he got his own bathroom, although naturally his was the biggest of all. Perks of the job, I guess.
Absolutely. And this is I think this is the officer's promenade that we're on now. So this would have been the captain's cabin here, going along this curved wall. I'd love to see pictures of inside that to see how big it really was.
The officer's promenade here wrapped around the forward superstructure. Behind this bulkhead was the captain's reception room, a grand sitting room where he could do much of his business, conferring with crew members or even valued guests and reporters.
Now look at that. That is spooky. That is really spooky. That is a very eerie, spooky sight. We're going into a storm. I thought the rain was going to be the worst of it. Looks like we're going to have to batten down the hatches.
These portholes provided light to all the senior officers' cabins, like the first, second, and third officers. Further aft, inside, was a comfortable lounge for the senior crewmen to enjoy while they were off duty.
Very nice. Okay, let's run along this promenade quickly and see what we can find. There's so much to see. We haven't even gone past the first funnel. Look at that for a sight, and the amount of interactions we've had. First class room U77, part of the suites that occupied the middle section of the upper deck. These suites here were the favourites among some of the ship's passengers, and thanks to their adjoining doors, these rooms could be combined into single and large complex of staterooms for the wealthy families or even royalty. Oh my god, oh my days, oh god, okay. That is terrifying. Oh my goodness.
The United States provided room for its passengers' furry companions as well. Here were the extensive dog kennels, which included a dog run for exercise, the actual kennels themselves, and berthing on the starboard side for a dedicated kennel attendant.
It's amazing, like the layout of the ship is really well thought. Like, so they have the kennel there, and then on the adjoining side they have the cabin for the man who maintains the kennel.
Windbreaks like this were crucial for passenger comfort. The United States was moving ahead at great speed, around 30 knots, which could send breezes ripping down the deck like a wind tunnel. These breaks would interrupt the flow and divert it away, meaning passengers behind could relax without feeling like they were sitting in a hurricane.
Like we are right now. Oh my god. This is terrifying. If there was virtual reality and just standing here uh would be some experience. Wow. Oh, I got an achievement for opening the weather tab. So we can control the wedding time. We can sync to current time. What does that do? I think we are on current time. What if we put it into winter? Or say random weather? I don't. Okay. Ah, here we go. It's very, I like the transition, it's very seamless. So I just clicked summer, so it's going to start clearing up now. Look at that, beautiful. And keep the dynamic weather on. Turn on Aurora Borealis for when it gets dark again. And keep that on, okay. It's calmed down a bit now. That was getting very loud. Oh, we can climb up the ladder, lovely. Did we get this one?
The location of the forward emergency generator room. Most ships had kept emergency power sets, but the United States was unique for having the emergency generators so high up in the superstructure, meaning that in the event of a disaster, the emergency lights could be powered right to the end.
Fantastic. Mr. Gibbs really thought of everything when he was designing this. Let's go up the ladder. How do we get up? Woohoo! Look at that texture and very nice reflections there. I don't even think that's ray tracing. I think that's just standard baked reflections. It's very nice. There's the lights for the funnel. Absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. Magnificent. Okay. Let's head down here. It looks like... I think this was a... Was this like a tennis court?
This games deck was a popular spot for passengers to take in the
Yes.
sun and play deck tennis. Being positioned between the ship's towering red funnels, it provided a unique perspective and a sheltered place to relax if the weather just happened to be nice.
Which it is starting to clear up right now. Isn't that lovely? Amazing. That's lovely. So they would have cleared the deck chairs away and they would have put up a net to play the tennis. That's fantastic. Would have been great fun. What a view, you know, to be playing. You're out here in the middle of the ocean and you're playing tennis. What else could you want? You can hear the noise. That sound design is amazing as well. Like, we have a vent here that's probably letting out heat from the engine room, I'd imagine, or the boiler room. And the sound design is perfect. Like, you can just tell by walking past it gets louder and quieter as you go past. Great picture of him. He looks he looks a bit spooked in the picture. Leroy Alexanderson, 1964.
Four first-class cabins were installed here, providing some of the most unique views aboard the ship.
Yeah, imagine coming out through one of them doors there and looking up and this is your view. It's absolutely beautiful.
Behind here was another fan room, but just on board of that was the first-class children's playroom, where kids could spend their time playing with toys, colouring, and doing crafts.
Yeah, they had to keep the children occupied on these crossings because, you know, that's the last thing you want is bored kids kind of ruining your spirits. We know that Britannic featured or was going to feature kind of a playroom or a nursery for any passengers on board that had children. And I think that was one of the, you know, that was a new thing at the time. That was back now in 1914. That was something that hadn't been seen on other ships before. I assume by the time of the SS United States it had become a bit more mainstream to have those kind of facilities on board. But back then, it was definitely a kind of new thing.
The United States lifeboat complement was significant, but the ship was festooned with these small rafts called floats, which would automatically float to the surface in case the ship were to sink.
Very handy to have, and there's lots of them. They're all spread out around the ship, and you know, I assume they could have been thrown over. I'm not sure how heavy they would have been, but I'm assuming they could have been thrown over if there was a man overboard situation. But that is why they have the life rings. That's why the life rings are there too. Let me see now. What was the button to change? Okay. Oh, we have a lot of things here. Look at that now. You know what? That's an interesting camera. You kind of get a wider POV.
For both men and women, in case anybody needed a quick break in between their relaxing on deck. In here were bathrooms. The rear aspect of the deck house, right here, contained exhaust vent trunking, which evacuated stale air from the engine rooms and the galleys, so it could be replaced with fresh air from the fan rooms instead.
Ah, so that is where the engine rooms air gets extracted from, and we have another windbreaker.
Like this were crucial for passenger comfort. The United States was moving ahead at great speed, around 30 knots, which could send breezes ripping down the deck like a wind tunnel. These brakes would interrupt the flow and divert it away, meaning passengers behind could relax without feeling like they were sitting in a hurricane.
Brilliant view here. What a view that is. Imagine taking a wide. I hope that I'm sure a picture like this has been taken either while the ship was still in service or while it's in dock right now in Alabama, but it is what a view with the funnel right there.
The aft games deck here provided yet more space for passengers to play quoits, deck tennis, or simply unwind in the sun with a book on one of the ship's bright red deck chairs.
The very bright red. Signature patriotic look, I suppose. It's the one thing you find with these old ships is though it's very hard to, you know, the lack of staircases, but thankfully we can just do this.
These twin sets of stairs provided access to first-class accommodations at the aft end of the deck house, with easy access to cabins S103 through S116.
One of the many endless corridors that provided access to cabins throughout the ship, notable for the lack of ornate detailing or decoration. Yeah, they are very, very plain. You know, for the time. I suppose it was going through that period kind of where you didn't want it to look too tacky. So kind of they just went for, I feel like, the clean kind of look.
Behind this bulkhead was the upper section of the theatre, which spanned 2 decks
from
the promenade deck below.
Very nice. And there you can see the propulsion unit on the propeller. And each lifeboat, 140 people was the capacity for those lifeboats. Very good. And they run the whole length of the ship pretty much. We head down here now. We're kind of getting into... Ah, there's the promenade. We'll go in there soon. Because that's a separate... Because I know the creator of this model, Kaju, made the model for the SS United States. He's got his own YouTube channel. I'm sure anyone who's watched me has watched him. He makes animations too. Very good animations. He's doing like airplane ones at the moment. He modeled the SS United States, and then it was sold to Mike Brady's team, and they added on the promenade deck as an extension. So we'll go in there in a minute and we'll take a look once we're done here on the stern.
Behind this bulkhead was an electrical workshop where repairs and servicing for most of the ship's electrical systems could be performed even mid-ocean.
Very nice. Here we have a cargo hatch.
Hatch number 3. This one was used mainly for baggage. On boarding, passengers could label bags as unwanted. These would then be loaded into the ship's hold through this hatch, while any bags that were actually wanted were sent instead to the passenger's cabin.
Yeah, this is something that was on most ships at the time, and I actually am very fortunate because I had relatives who went on the sister ship, the SS America. I have a baggage tab, or a baggage tag for one that's an unwanted bag, so that was stored in the cargo hold. And I also have a matchbook, and they're both from the SS United States sister ship, the SS America, and I have them safe with me here. So it's cool to see like any of those bags that had one of them tags, they would have been put, you know, stowed away in the cargo hold. And then if a passenger wanted a particular bag in the cabin, they could have got a special tag for that, which would have brought it to the cabin so that it wouldn't have been thrown below. So if they had something that they wanted to take out of their bags. And again with the sound design, it's amazing. We're here And we're getting some kind of a generator or a ventilation sound again.
Behind this bulkhead was another fan room, which
There you
supplied
go.
fresh air for the decks below. Much of SS United States' interior was air conditioned, a modern comfort that passengers and crew would have come to very much appreciate on summer crossings.
Yes, absolutely. Last thing you want is a stuffy ship with no ventilation. I just see there's some people coming in there in the chat. Good to see you all. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're enjoying the walk around. We're just kind of taking our own time with it. We're not rushing our way through anything. I have all the time here. Very nice. More games on board. And plenty of them in case someone was occupying them. There's another one that you can use. Plenty of room for everyone. We have another games deck here. Another... That's incredible. There's like 4 of them. Oh, cabin class. Ah, so they were probably segregated for each individual class on board. So you would have had tourist class and you would have had cabin class. I think there was only 2. I think kind of the middle class was still... it had come out. Like, the middle class was there. But I'm not sure if the SS United States... Like, I know there was cabin class and tourist class. I can't remember if there was another class too.
Another emergency generator room at the stern here meant that the United States could remain powered and lit up in a wide variety of potential disaster scenarios. Directly behind this bulkhead was a resistor room, part of the complex electrical systems that kept the ship's thousands and thousands of lights burning around the clock.
Very good. It's good to keep that kind of... They kept it near the stern in case, obviously, if the ship was going down, it would likely probably go down by the head, and that's why these generators would have been kept at the stern, so that they would have remained on for as long as possible in the event of a disaster. We have a staircase here that lets us go downstairs. I think this lets us down onto... Okay, another promenade here. Wow, this is beautiful. The sun beaming through. And we have another picture. Ah, the writing room. Very nice. My favourite room on the Olympic class, particularly obviously on Titanic, is their first class reading and writing room. And there's the SS United States one there. Very 50s, 60s. Getting from it, absolutely.
Behind here was the cabin class
So
library
it was in
and writing
here.
room, a small but comfortable space for those that wanted a quiet escape.
Very nice. That's where I would have spent most of my time on a ship.
These doors led into the aft cabin class foyer, where passengers could access the lounge, their staterooms, or the stairs that led to the decks above and below.
Very nice. Very good. And something chained off there. So that's obviously to get down below. And we're not allowed down there, unfortunately. There's no way to get through, is there? Can we get a cheeky look? Probably not. That's alright though, that's alright. As you can see, we're going very fast as well. We're going very fast.
The cabin class lounge was a plush space that was beautifully decorated with a mural called The Mississippi, Father of Waters by Hildreth Mier, showing the river sprouting like a tree through the middle of mainland USA, while the walls around it were clad in pink beige aluminium leaf.
I'll have to look at that, that sounds amazing. I'll have to find that picture. We'll have a run here. We can slide along the games deck. We have another picture. Mother and daughter shelter from the elements on cabin class promenade in 1953. A nearby deck pantry on the starboard side could provide hot drinks and soup on cold days. In the glory years of the transatlantic travel, a popular dish was a green sea turtle soup. This probably was a little... Through one of these doors would have been kind of like a little shop. Or just a little kind of cafe thing where you could get a hot drink when you're out on deck.
This small covered promenade gave some shelter from the elements, while directly behind this bulkhead was the small stage that sat at the back of the cabin class lounge.
Lovely postcard here as well. Souvenir logo book. Oh wait, this isn't a postcard. Sorry, this is a souvenir logo for the, like, it's the logo for a souvenir book. These very popular gifts and keepsakes sold on board and remind passengers of their crossing. The cover shows the United States at speed with a significant bow wave In nautical terms, some mariners refer to this as the ship having a bone in her teeth. Donated to the Conservancy by Steve Williams. So Steve Williams must have had a relative or himself was a passenger on board. Very nice to see. The Conservancy has built up a lovely collection of artifacts over the years, and they've preserved them all nice and well. And when the time comes for the United States to be reefed, they are going to build a museum as well in Florida, and I hope that some of them artifacts get put on display in that museum, because I think it would be a very nice way to honor the ship, to show kind of original artifacts.
The ship's fantail, the very stern, mounted a jackstaff, which proudly flew the US merchant ensign flag. Meanwhile, the deck around it could be used by cabin class passengers for games or relaxing in the fresh air.
Very nice. And that's us at the very stern right now. I think we go into photo mode for a moment. Let's have some external. Oh, I just clicked out of the game. Look at that. Wowee. Can we, where is the... Oh, we can't pull up the weather tab in... We'd have to set the weather first before we come into this, but... We'll just get a little look around. We'll speed up the rotation. Very nice. There's the name proudly above the bow. Amazing. I wonder, is there a way? I could be wrong, but I don't think there is a way. It would be really nice for just if the ship was still moving in photo mode. I think it'd be nice. I know it's a photo mode, so like no matter whether you take a picture or not, it's going to be a still image. But I think it would be nice. You can even put the grid on and get rid of the captain. You can really play around with these. It's kind of like a vintage look there. Oh wow. I like tight field of views. I like when it's a tight shot like that. You can change the resolution. Oh, and we want to go 4K. You can do a roll as well. Very nice. Bit of a roll is actually kind of nice. Not too much though. I don't want to be too aggressive. Looks like it was taken on a plane passing by. You know, there's some great footage kind of these ships at sea where a plane would have flown low at this kind of an angle, like a flyby, recording footage. You can get it online. You can see really nice footage of it going past. Just going to click out for 1 second. Thanks, Gubby. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're trying something different here. This just came out, so we're having a go with Ship Explorer today, and we have we do have videos coming out. There are videos coming. I know I haven't uploaded in a while, but we do have. There's going to be at least 3 or 4 videos coming out in August, so we have that to look forward to. You can put a frame on it. Ah, there we go. There's a cinematic look now. I might save one of these. We'll see if we can make it look nice. Oh, wow. You can do sharpness. Film grain, make it look kind of vintage. And vignette as well, and that's a bit too aggressive. You can do... Oh, no, we do not want sharpness. Contrast. Ooh, wow, okay. You can do just pre-baked filters as well. Ooh. The black and white kind of looks... Oh, I like that. I really like that. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save one of these. I'm going to take the film grain off though, so it's cleaner look. Well, I'll add a bit of it. It kind of looks nice. Give it 50 maybe. Just kind of adds a nice kind of... What about vignette? Oh, no, the vignette is a bit too aggressive. So how do I save one of these? Take photo. I've taken a photo. I assume that's saved somewhere on my PC, so we'll take a look at that later. Maybe that can be the thumbnail. But yeah, that's very cool. I like the filters. The filters are very cool. Oh, there's autofocus as well. You can do the sensor for when you have all, you know, your f-stop. Jesus, okay, they're really adding all the photography tools in here. Where's our filter? Can we get our filter back? Filter. What other ones do we have? The black and white, blue, negative, negative, black and white, sepia, none. We'll save one like that as well. I think I'm taking the photos. I don't know. There's no like noise to say that I took them, but I'm clicking it to make sure. It's very nice. Cool. So that's the photo mode. I could spend all day in that, honestly. That's something I could just spend hours in playing around. We have another photo down here, I see. We have 2 photos. Oh wow, look at that. The gangway of the SS United States serves both cabin class passengers. Served to board cabin class passengers as they board directly covered promenade on one of the main staircases, giving them access to cabins within the ship. Here's the ship berth in, I'm not going to pronounce that because I'm probably going to get it wrong. Bremerhaven, I don't know. But that's in Germany. Very nice. We've interacted with all of them before on the other side, so we'll just look at this picture. Whoa, there's the galley. Chef presides over his galley. SS United States first class passengers expected a high standard of cuisine at sea. These days were essentially structured around meal times, up to 6 meals a day, including buffets. Historian Frank O'Brainerd recalled you could kill yourself eating. In keeping with the times, the United States boasted microwaves, which helped chefs turn around 9,000 meals every single day. Very stressful environment to be working in. 9,000 meals every day. Because you have to remember, you're not only feeding the passengers, you're feeding all of the crew as well, and the officers, and anyone working down below, the deckhands, everyone. Like, it's not just the passenger count. There's an army of people working on the ship to make sure the passengers have the best possible time they can. And this music is lovely, by the way. I hope it's not copyrighted. I know I think the menu music is, but I'm not sure about all this kind of ambient music. What do we have here? We have another souvenir log, which lists the dates of the crossing, and it tells you the speed of each one. Very nice. And that was donated by Steve Williams as well, so that was probably out of the same logbook. And here we have the navigational bridge at the stern.
The docking bridge complex featured this aft steering system, which had all the necessary equipment to handle the ship, either as a backup or as a simple alternative for manoeuvring in unusual situations. Most of the time, the telegraphs at the wheel back here were wrapped under canvas to protect them from the elements.
Yeah, on most ships that offered and boasted one of these, they wouldn't leave it kind of open like this. They would put covers over them to keep the brass and stuff, and to keep it all safe. But I like how they've tucked the covers off so we can actually see what they look like under the covers, because no one wants to look at a canvas cover. We want to see what's under it. We have more of the compass towers kind of here on the bridge wings as well. This is very cool. These bridge wings extended out over the deck to give a better view.
The docking bridge wings were reserved for the use of crew only and gave a fine view down the ship's side. Backing out of the dock at New York and into the Hudson was a delicate maneuver, and crew on duty needed to be extra vigilant to make sure the ship cleared all obstacles on the way out.
Amazing. That gives them a great like view to be able to see when they're cleared. Like it's amazing actually how like far it sticks out on each side. That's really good. We were down here already. Very cool. So I think we've explored everything. We're going to look at the we'll look at the promenade deck, and then I might play around with the weather a little bit more. And then I do want to explore the dry dock, because I have some interesting things that I want to look at in the dry dock mode. We'll have a look at the promenade. The promenade is very cool. This is very cozy looking as well. Oh, we can go. We have full access to both sides. Very nice. Beautiful.
The ship's main theatre was accessible to both first and cabin class passengers. Behind this bulkhead was the stage.
So that would have been like a stage access door then, I imagine. And this would have been then an entrance to the theatre.
SS United States main theatre, behind this bulkhead, served a few different purposes, from staging plays and talent shows to screening films and even hosting Sunday Mass.
Very nice. You can see here the boat stations for the lifeboats. So, you know, each cabin, you would have been told while you were boarding what station you were to report to in the event of an emergency. Kind of like a fire assembly point that we have today. So, you know, each cabin would have had its dedicated muster station. So you can see here's station 24, 22. You would have had 23 on the other side. And it runs the full length down. You can, very nice. Wow, you can see very busy promenade here. Boarding day. Passengers come aboard the ship and walk in the lines, passing the stewards to find their cabins. Boarding was a strenuous process, on the tradition always that the first night's dinner was a subtle affair, with many dressing simply in their day clothes. Yes, that really carried from the 19th century. You know, even in Titanic, they mentioned how, like, you know, because it was such a stressful day of everyone running around, unpacking and doing all that, and most people just stayed in their same clothes. They didn't wear their evening dress when they went out for their meals that evening. The clock is moving. Very nice to have a clock here. You could sit here and read a book or have a chat, and you'll be able to keep an eye on the time so you know when dinner is, or if you're going to see a show in the theatre, you know what time. It's a great view. I think these might be like ashtrays, I feel like, maybe for the smokers. These could be ashtrays. Not entirely sure.
The first-class smoking room was a real draw for passengers. A brochure described it like this. The colour scheme of rich autumn hues makes the smoking room one of the most attractive of the 12 public rooms reserved for first-class passengers. Two-toned leather chairs and sofas, covered in hand-woven fabric, invite you to relax. The bowed centre wall is covered with a Mercator projection of the world's continents, showing variations of time at different longitudes.
Very good. You can see the sun seems to be coming down on the other side again.
Big double doors here gave access to the foyer and the aft first-class staircase, where passengers could access all the major public areas, from the observation lounge towards the bow, all the way back to the smoking room and theatre towards the stern.
Beautiful. More pictures. This is very nice. This is obviously, okay, so it's a brochure. So this would have been like a promotional piece for the ship. Yeah, it looks like, is that very hard to read, but is that like Paris? Maybe they're like promoting Europe, potentially Paris. And you can see the gay ships, because back then gay meant you were having a swell time. To Europe's gay season, yeah. It's happy and gay. It's a great, what a time.
The cocktail lounge was nicknamed the Navajo Bar because its decor showed Navajo Indian artwork. It wasn't very big, but it was provided with a set of 4 enormous circular windows that allowed plenty of light to shine in.
There's those circular windows there. They would have had blinds on them as well, probably when it got darker. Very big windows. And you can see them here. That's them windows there. Very nice. More pictures. There's lots of pictures on the promenade deck. This is the ballroom. Very, very plain looking. Like, you know, there's no kind of coving or anything on the ceilings. It's a very clean, very like sterile kind of look. I wonder what, I feel like these chairs though, they would have been like a bright yellow or something, or like a bright red, and then the carpet would have been something like blue, like a very dark blue. You would have had those kind of crazy colors. But yeah, it's we have more windows here. That's the windows for the ballroom.
By day and by night. It was directly behind this bulkhead. It led directly off from the main foyer, and the ballroom featured plush red chairs and sofas, carved glass panels on the walls, showing undersea themes like coral, and a bandstand for nightly performances by the likes of the Myers Davis Orchestra.
Very nice picture here as well. You can see passengers walking on the promenade. That's a colorized picture as well, which is really nice. Very nice indeed. Another picture. And that's another angle of the ballroom again. Oh, they have ornate glass. Is that like stained glass, or is it just kind of like engraved glass? It's very nice. So I feel like all that though, that was all torn out. None of that really
These
exists
doors led
anymore.
into the main foyer for first class. Turning left would take you to the first class ballroom, while the right hand turn would take you to the elegant observation lounge instead.
Very nice. And last door.
This bulkhead was another fan room.
Ventilation and machinery, yes.
But beyond that was the observation lounge, a sumptuous room which spanned the width of the ship and was decorated with a pair of 9 by 12 foot murals by artist Raymond Wendell. Each of the 14 small round tables in the room.
There's the first class dining. Sorry, Michael, I'm interrupting you.
Berthing and main staircase, which led down to the main foyer.
Ooh, the Ocean Press. Is this like a newspaper that was published on board the ship? Winter 1952 edition of the shipboard newspaper, the Ocean Press, with a powerful array of radios. The United States could talk constantly with land stations either side of the Atlantic. That is incredible. So they could and print the news rapidly. So if there was anything going on either side of the world, on the west or on the way to Europe, they could get this news and get it printed on board for passengers who wanted to, know what was going on back home.
Led through to the first class forward staircase, where 2 decks below,
Look at that! Wow, look at that.
On the promenade deck.
Okay, this is very pretty now. We might have to go in photo mode for this.
The States radio room was very big. It takes up this entire section of deckhouse and was conveniently within just a few feet of the radioman's cabins. United States' unique radio call sign, Kilo Juliet Echo Hotel, was well.
Oh my god, wow.
The radio room even had a reception desk where passengers could arrange telegrams to send back home.
We might have to do picture mode here. We might have to have a play around with this. First I need to hide Mr. Captain Man. You need to be hidden. Which option were you in again? My character, there we go. I might get a better view on this side. The colours are much nicer, yeah. Very pretty. I wish the draw distance was a bit longer on the colors or on the lights, just so you could kind of pull farther away and get that glow. Where is our? Oh, I could spend hours in this. I really could. You get really wide. Oh, I don't like that. I like the really tight ones. Tight view, and then you go back really far. Something like that maybe is kind of interesting. Very nice. Very nice. You could spend hours. You could spend hours playing around with this. Ooh, that's kind of eerie. That kind of looks like a kind of ghost ship lighting or something. But you could spend absolutely hours playing around with this. This is your third favorite ship. Yeah, it's up there for me too. It would be definitely. I don't know what position I'd put it in personally, but it's up there for me. Whenever someone asks me to rank my favorites, I honestly cannot. Like, it changes all the time as well. But it's United States is definitely up there. We'll just have a quick look down at the bow before we exit this level, because I know that there's 3 other levels to look at. So there's so much information. There's the builder's plaque.
This extension of the forward bulkhead on the sun deck mainly held the machinery room for the tourist class elevator below it, but the port side also held the bathroom for first class cabin S12 right behind here.
Titanic's your favorite? Yeah, I assume most people Titanic will be their favorites. 1952. Very nice. Gibbs and Cox. Beautiful. Wow, the northern lights are oh wow, they're really picking up now.
This entire section of the forecastle deck was used as an open promenade
Oh.
for passengers. they could emerge from the doors here that led directly to the middle of 3 tourist-class staircases. But on big sea days, or when the wind was up, the doors would be shut and the deck closed to passengers. Probably more often than not. The number 2 hatch here was used for loading general cargo, baggage, and the ship's stores. The shaft of the cargo hatch led down to the holds about 8 stories beneath your feet.
Big drop. You wouldn't want to fall down there. Yeah, they just said that this is the tourist class promenade. That would have been similar kind of on the Wilhelm Gustloff. I think they had a curved superstructure at the front, and they would have had 2 doors on either side that would have led to a promenade as well. So it's a similar design. Oh, that's the same voice. He's repeating himself. Okay.
The winch control room sat behind this bulkhead, centrally located in the small forward deckhouse.
I love how you can just jump anywhere. There's a ladder here. We should probably use the ladder.
To haul tons of cargo off the dock and into the ship.
Amazing. And we have more of them life rafts here. There's a great view. Okay, back into picture mode we go. The camera can be a bit finicky. It doesn't want to move. I think it's because I'm... Okay, there we go. Oh, this is going to be... I need to slow down to get it centered. I'm very particular with things like that. And we can use the bell to hide our captain friend. Lovely. Beautiful. Yeah, you can go 120 degrees out, and that's very impressive. Where's our captain? There he is. Very cool. Okay, let's try and wrap this one up then, because I know we've got to check out the other ones too.
The store led to a crew stairwell that gave them access to the promenade deck forward of the breakwater. A small space, but still one where they could come for some fresh air or a smoke.
Very nice. Here's the ship's bell. Hey, there we go. A bit of interactability. Very nice movement on it. Oh, it's getting very dark. Okay, let's change the weather just a touch so we can... I'm sure the nighttime is lovely too, but... Oh, here we go. Here's... do fog. What else do we have? Light snow might be nice. I know we're going into August, but... I feel like the snow might be nice. That's not changing. It probably takes a few minutes to kick in, I imagine. But, okay. Oh no, that lovely photo is going to get destroyed. Ooh, now look at that for a view. Yeah, I apologize if it's really loud at the moment. I've told the weather to change. I'm hoping it changes in a minute. Oh, thank you, Michael. He quiets out the storm for us.
Fan room and other crew spaces, it also mounted a large breakwater that would cut big waves in half if they came over the bow and direct them over the side of the ship and away from the cargo handling equipment and passenger spaces behind.
Very nice.
Here were used when docking and mooring the ship. But like many liners of the era, most of the heavy anchor handling equipment was hidden away on the deck below. In fact, the huge windlass, anchor chains, and other heavy pieces of equipment got their own special mooring room directly beneath where you're standing.
Just saw an opportunity here for something nice. I don't think I need a filter for this. I just need my field of view again. There we go, that's very nice. Don't think we need a frame for this one. Can I move the focus point? Like, so it's not the center. Like, I can't move it up there, no, to be like... It's alright. Just leave autofocus off. Line it up. Oh, sorry for going quiet, guys, but I'm having a field day with this. Like moving the... I could spend hours just in the photo mode. Cool, beautiful, okay.
The crew open promenade was used mainly by sailors and stewards who were berthed in the bow. When the weather was bad, the deck would have been unusable and even dangerous.
Yeah. Speaking of dangerous, what happens if I just... Oh god. Lost at sea. Ah, and we're back on the bridge. Okay, well that's going to do it, I think, for this level. We got a great... we spent an hour just looking at this level. I'm not sure... We mightn't do everything today, then. We might save some of it for a second stream. Just because of how long it's taken to get through them. There's so much detail. But we'll go back to the main menu and we'll have a look at the other levels that are available. There is another SS United States level that is available. I do really want to look at this dry dock exploration. I think this is fascinating. We have another newsreel here.
America's newest challenge for world supremacy in merchant marine is launched at Newport News. She's the United States, and she's been 16 months of building, with 11 more months to go to complete the luxurious interior fittings. The first passenger ship ever built in a graving dock, the United States is floated by letting water into the dry dock, instead of splashing the ship down into the river. Despite the innovation, there's a traditional christening, with Senator Tom Connolly's wife wielding the bottle of champagne. At an $80 million cost, the liner is easily the most expensive ever built. She's also the safest, designed for troop transportation. The government is paying much of the cost, but hopes the United States will serve only in a peaceful merchant marine.
Very nice. So yeah, like he said, the government paid a lot for the SS United States' construction, and the reason they did that is because in the event of a war, the SS United States would be commissioned to, like, it would be decommissioned as a passenger liner and it would go into wartime service for probably troop transport. And the reason I am so excited to look in this dry dock mode is because there is very few photos of the SS United States in dry dock, because when the government was building her and when they were designing her, they kept a lot of her designs really secret and really private, because they didn't want competitors to know how they were able to get the ship to perform so well in the sea and how fast it was able to go. So this is, you know, these are some shots here that there's probably no photos that publicly exist of these kind of angles for us to be able to be in the dry dock and to look around. And we have a few more interactability things. We definitely won't be as long in this one because it's just the dry dock.
United States bow shape was ideally suited for slicing through waves. It would provide a more comfortable ride for passengers and enable her to maintain her high speed. But below the waterline, a slight bulbous bow also made her more efficient, burning less oil and making it easier for her to cut through the ocean.
Very nice. Indeed. I think we have blueprints here again. The blueprints, we were looking at them. Very nice, yeah. So, and you can see I should have noted this in the last one, but you can see the modeller's credits. So there's Kaju's name, and Jordan must have been the one who modelled the Promenade then onto the existing model. And we can see who was in charge of the creative team and the programming as well. Very nice. The sounds are great as well. It sounds like there's people working on the ship as well. So you know what, it might be easier. We'll have a quick run around just in case there's anything important. Can we go up here? I assume not. Oh wait, we can? Oh wow. Oh, we can't go up there though. Oh, that's unfortunate. I thought we would have been able to go up all the way to be eye level. That's okay though. We have our friend here, Mr. Camera. Oh, we're not allowed to. There's a collision there too. Oh, we're not allowed to see above. Above. I mean, there's probably nothing important up there, anyways. This is more for kind of looking under the ship because you can't look under the ship in the other level. So it's kind of nice to see the kind of underneath of the ship. How can you be sick of Mike Brady? He's created an absolute masterpiece. These are views that we would have never been able to really see in an experience if they didn't put this together.
That help provide some stability against rolling. The United States was one of the last generation of passenger ships built without retractable stabilizing fins. Instead, these shallow keels on either
Hi,
side
Mr. Golden. Good to see you.
keep the ship
Thanks for coming in.
big seas.
Very nice there. The stability rockers, there would have been one of them on each side. They roll the whole, well, basically the whole length of the ship. I love how they put that little staircase there as well, so we could like reach up to it so we can get a closer look. That's very nice. And it looks like we have a little scaffolding platform here. Can we climb this ladder? We can indeed. And get a nice look. Oh, we have a photo. Or a newspaper snippet. Or a magazine. Huge amount of work that went into the new ship. Busy as ant, it says. Hill. 3,000 workmen crawling in and out. The 7... Jeez, wow. Gross 251,000. Sorry, I'm just reading it to myself, but I like, because I'm just blown away by some of the facts. Like, I don't know a lot about this ship, so I'm learning a lot too, by exploring this. Like, this has given me a lot of new information, and I know the other experience, the Morro Castle, is going to give me even more because I know basically nothing about the Morro Castle. All I know is its fate. That's the only thing I know about the Morro Castle. Bismarck is going to be... I've seen some videos and some sneak peeks of the Bismarck experience. It looks absolutely phenomenal. And is Empress of Ireland coming as well? I thought they weren't going to put Empress of Ireland in this. I thought they were saving that for Grand Voyage, great, because that's another fantastic ship that I'd love to explore. Here we go. We're just under the belly here.
Behind the shell plating here is the mail room, a critical storage space for all the parcels, letters, and crates posted overseas. The coveted US mail contract helped subsidize United States operations.
Textures are great.
The speed meant the timely delivery of important mail.
Are these the same textures that were on the hull in the other experience? Because these textures look far more better than the other one. I don't know, they could be the exact same ones, and I'm just, because I'm closer to them, I think they look better. But they look phenomenal. The anti-fouling looks great. The brass, I was going to say golden, they're not golden, they're brass propellers. You can see here's the rudder, a huge rudder. You can get a few...
The balanced rudder at the stern post here was similar to those fitted to battleships and aircraft carriers. It was well suited to use at high speeds and made United States fairly maneuverable, even for a ship of her size and speed.
There's the tip of the rudder.
Famously, the United States could go as fast backwards as many ships could manage going forwards. On her sea trials, it said that she travelled at 22 knots while going in reverse, which would actually be
Wow.
forward speed for most ships.
That's incredible. The ship could go as fast in reverse as some of the other ships' top speed at the time. That is incredible. That just shows how advanced and ahead of her time that the SS United States was. Got a very modern looking light here. Well, the top doesn't look that modern, but this looks very modern. Impressive texturing. Even the attention to detail even went into the lights. You know, they could have thrown down a generic low detail light model, but they actually went all out and put a proper one in it. Yeah, the Empress of Ireland's fate is very... it's a very unfortunate event that happened. I know Liam Sharp, who is also a member of this team, did a phenomenal animation on the sinking of the Empress of Ireland. It's probably one of my favorite animations of any sinking that has ever been created. There's just the amount of detail that went into it, and the fact that it was made completely by just him. My hat goes off to him. Like, just absolutely phenomenal work. Let me see. What was I looking to do? I was looking to do something. Oh yes, I wanted to see if we change, like if we make it dark here. Oh my god. I was just going to say, do they turn on? And they actually do. That is incredible. And there's even the noise of the generator. That gives you a completely different perspective down here in the dark. This is incredible. We'll go up here and we're going to get some facts about the propellers.
United States forward set of propellers featured 4 blades, cast of manganese bronze, while the aft pair behind them had 5 blades instead. This provided exceptional hydrodynamic performance, and it had actually been used on vessels like the USS Iowa and her sisters during the war.
Yeah, all I'm pretty sure all 4 of the propellers are currently still on. They were taken off and they're like on the deck, I'm pretty sure, of the ship. I'm pretty sure they're just sitting on the deck, which is really like, I assume they're going to be taken off when the ship gets reefed, and they'll be probably brought to the museum. Right, the night view is stunning, but it's getting kind of hard to see, so I might just make it just a little bit brighter. We'll keep it like kind of. That's kind of nice. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, this is a much quicker experience to go around because we're not on deck. We're just kind of running around the bottom of it. But it provides you an amazing view that basically any of us we never would have seen this view. You know, we're never going to see a view like this with our own eyes, like that, and through pictures or anything. So it's phenomenal. We have another magazine snippet here. It's kind of boasting about the technology, the radar on the bridge, it looks like. Yeah, 16-inch radar unit. That's incredible. The size of that is huge. We saw that on the bridge earlier. It's a massive piece of equipment. Yeah, Liam's Empress of Ireland animation is like ridiculous how good it is. I was speechless watching it. Like, my jaw was just left open for the entire thing. Here we go, General Electric. There's a logo I know from aviation. What did General Electric make? They were boasting their the generators probably for the electricity. So a seagoing city is what they were advertising it as, and it definitely was 100%. You can see the anchor dropped here on this side, so we can get a nice look at the anchor. That's a nice touch. We'll run up and have a look.
This enormous anchor is one of 3 kept on the ship's bow. Although they were rarely used between Southampton and New York, they proved invaluable on cruises where smaller ports couldn't fit the ship. The Big U could anchor out in the harbour and ferry passengers ashore via tender.
That's what they had to do with these big ships. You had to have tenders because lots of the ports were too shallow for them to come in. So you had the tender ships. You know, we know from Titanic and you know, the Olympic class, they had Nomadic and Traffic in Cherbourg, and they had Ireland and America in Queenstown to tender passengers to and from the ship. Okay, you want me to do the fire level? We've already clicked on that one. Oh, I made a mistake. We've already heard that one. But I think that's everything for the dock level, so we can go in now and look at the... I'm just going to actually take a lovely picture here, though. That's a nice picture. Literally, I'm not going to change anything. I just like that angle. It's very nice. Okay. We will have a look at the other level. So I should show this as well. Oh, you can't see that, unfortunately. I have there is a list of achievements. It opens my overlay, but it's not shown on stream. So there is achievements. I haven't looked through what you need to do to get them, but I'm pretty sure, you know, some of them are just straightforward. You unlock them like by finding all the collections and stuff and all the pictures. So here is the Morro Castle. This is a ship I know basically nothing about, so this is actually going to be interesting for me too. So, built in the 30s, its fate, obviously, I know the fate that in the early hours on 1934 a fire broke out and took the life of 135 passengers and crew. It's very tragic. So let's have a look. So we do have an at sea level, and we have a fire level. The fire level looks very, it looks terrifying. Just the lighting, and that is, it's shocking to see. So what we'll do is we'll check the normal level first so we can get our bearings, because I do not know my way around this ship. And we have another newsreel. This looks like it's the launch of the Morro Castle. She looks delighted. There she goes. They picked the perfect music for this newsreel. There she goes. She's got a nice bulbous bow, similar to the United States on her as well. Big Tan is back again. Yeah, they're going to be adding... there's DLCs coming I'm not sure how frequently they're going to be released, but there's several other ships planned to be added. Now, this looks beautiful. I think Lucas Gustavin is the modeler behind this ship, and he is a phenomenal modeler. You will have seen lots of his models used in my videos over the years. I believe he is the modeler. We'll find out right away. I'm sure the blueprint section is here as well. So it's the same controls again.
Many of the fine staterooms behind these windows had their own ensuite bathrooms, a rarity in those days when many passenger ships featured communal facilities out in the hallways.
Oof. 2 luxury liners to Havana. Okay. 9-day all expenses cruise was marked here for $145, which is the equivalent to $3,080 today. There was no doubt, though, that the intended customers for such advertising it was for the middle class, the labourers that earned 43 cents an hour, meaning a blue-collar worker would need to work a month of 10-hour shifts just to pay for this. That is absolutely crazy. The wages back then, but it's just inflation in general causes all that. Like, okay, we do have interiors on this as well. We will look at that shortly. Here's a nice postcard of one of the cabins. The ward line. It's very ornate. Very nice. And here's another. These are kind of similar davits to the
Morro Castle used some fancy new lifeboat lowering devices.
Gravity davits,
gravity davits, which were a huge step up over what had come before. In fact, this kind of davit is still largely used today.
Yeah, the gravity davits, you see them on a lot of ships that were built around this time, but you kind of see them on like ferries. Like obviously the lifeboats have changed, but the davits remain very similar on kind of ferries and stuff. And here's the blueprint now. So I think okay, no, it was our very own Liam Sharp who modelled this. I apologise, Liam. I thought it was Lucas that modelled the Morro Castle, but you've done an absolutely phenomenal job, and Filippo has done the or is that, sorry, I want to make sure I get that. Yeah, it is Filippo. Has done the interior. We will take a look at the interior in a minute. We're going to hop down here first, though, because I love just... Oh, this looks like a nice little enclosed... Ah, yeah, enclosed promenade. Lovely. Very nice. I don't want to spend as long as we did on the United States. I want to kind of push through this because we've been in for an hour already. Did I see a picture there? I did. Look at them all having a lovely time. Friends posed with an officer in his summer whites. It was a tradition for officers to wear their whites in hot climates because it helped keep them cool. Clearly this photo was taken on a hot day as the canvas awnings have been rigged to protect the passengers from the worst of the sun. Yeah, so obviously, you know, the officers, they had their black uniforms, but when the sun beaming on you, when you're wearing a full black coat and trousers, you know, it's going to make it even more uncomfortable for you. So they had their pair of white clothes as well. Oh, I've just clipped through and picked up the blueprint again. Oh, where's it bringing me? Downstairs, is it? Oh, cool. Okay, so that's how we get down to the crew promenade. Nice anchor here.
Morro Castle carried 2 auxiliary anchors. This one was shackled to the forward superstructure just in case, a requirement of most US merchant ships of the time. After all, you can never be too careful.
Very nice. We have a big cargo hatch here. I have to jump up on it. There we go.
Big number 2 cargo hatch, through which many goods of all kinds were loaded to land in New York or Havana. Most
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Into first-class cabins on sea deck, giving well-to-do passengers a rather interesting view ahead.
Yeah. Not much to look at, but you know, you might see crew from time to time out here, like working on the docking equipment and stuff. There's another bell. I love that. I love how you can just interact with the bell.
These covered stairs also featured fans, which ventilated the spaces below. These stairs led down to more crew-only areas, including the heads, aka, well, the toilets.
Very nice. And here's number 1 cargo hatch. We won't interrupt you this time, Mike.
Morro Castle was expected to embark and carry a lot of cargo, like Havana sugar, but in her holds, contraband Cuban rum was known to be smuggled in, and a lot of it would have passed right through this, the number 1 cargo hatch.
You had smugglers on ocean liners, imagine.
This is the prow, the very front of the ship, and this flagpole, or jackstaff, was used to fly the jack, a small decorative flag, but only in port.
I really like the overcast lighting. The overcast weather is actually my favourite, I think. Like this kind of weather, it just looks really good.
These big polished bronze pedestals were used to control the steam equipment like winches and capstans. Turning them while under power would engage or disengage a brake. It's pretty simple, really.
Very nice. We have
this was used to wind in Morro Castle's twin anchors, each weighing around 5 tons. So it had to be a pretty heavy-duty bit of kit to pull it off.
Incredible. Nice. We're getting through nice and quick because I do want to look at the fire level and I don't want to
These portholes
drag this out too
covered
much.
Promenade on B deck. In fact, if you go and have a bit of an explore, you can look out through the other direction.
Ah, okay, Michael. We will do that now. Oh, and we have a lovely picture here. Okay. So that was like, this would have been, I think, like a pamphlet that would have been given out on board to passengers and would have had kind of like just facts and information about the ship. Very nice. And go back upstairs. Got that picture already. That's the one of the crew, yeah. And we have these lights here. What are these? Or no. Okay. Can we go in the... Oh, what? Okay, that shouldn't have opened. Clicking out on my game. I don't think we can go in the bridge, unfortunately, unless... Is it on this level? No, that's the upper... Maybe we can go in the bridge when we go inside, like it's a separate level. We'll have a look and see. There's Captain Robert Wilmot. Great shot there. Is that in New York? It must be in New York, is it? Great shot there. They don't know. That it still hasn't been determined what was the cause of the fire that was on board.
The skylight looked into the officer's toilet, so maybe don't look too closely.
Not good to let in natural light.
This skylight looked down into the chart room, where the captain and
Again,
senior officers reviewed
very
their
good to
maps.
let in natural light.
But they were all very familiar with the New York to Havana route, so you wonder if they studied many charts at all. At least, they had some nice sunlight
Lovely
to do it
shot.
if they needed.
That's the part in New York. Lovely ship, I have to say. And it's one, you know, I've never done a video on it, and I know very little about it, so it's definitely something that I would like to do in the future. I know there's not a lot of people watching this live, but I assume people are going to watch this after it's gone up, like, fully.
These fire buckets would have been filled with sand and used in case of a spontaneous blaze, although exactly how useful they could ever really be is pretty questionable.
Do you think it was sabotage the fire? It's very hard to say. Like, it could have been arson. You know, it could have been a worker, it could have been a crew member, it could have been a passenger. It could have been as simple though as an accidental cigarette, you know, being left down somewhere. It's really hard to, you know, and again, I don't know enough really to give my kind of, you know, I don't want to point people in the wrong direction per se. So I really don't know. It could very well have been. A lot of people probably think that, but I don't know enough personally to say if it was or not. Here's a map of the course for the Ward line going from New York down through the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, it's the Gulf of Mexico. That's what we call it. Very nice. Would have been an interesting course to do.
This was an additional compass mounted on top of a wooden platform, known lovingly as the Monkey Island.
Yes.
Away from any metal that might interfere with its magnetic reading, but also totally exposed to the elements, much to the dismay of any crew tasked with taking a reading in a bad storm.
Very nice. Monkey Island, something that's featured on a lot of ships. Cunard liners loved having them on theirs. We have another skylight here.
This skylight provided fresh air and light
For the Radio Shack, yeah.
Radio Shack. Probably
look at this
an addition
capstan.
which was
Whoa!
much
Can we go?
appreciated by the
Can we go
radio
inside?
cooped up there for hours on end.
Ah! Oh, I didn't blow the whistle yet. Let's have a listen to the whistle on this ship. Lovely. That sounds really nice. Kind of sounds like an old steam train. It's very nice. We can climb up here as well. We can get a look at the whistle. We might blow it again while I'm up here. This will be interesting. Oh, clipping. Oh, we have a picture. Lovely picture again. She's a very nice stern. We have to have a look at that promenade on the stern. Oh, I'm stuck inside the funnel, it seems. Aha, how am I going to deal with this? Oh. Okay. Not ideal. But let me see if I can... Oh, you can just... Ah, beautiful. We can respawn in the menu. Oh. But it doesn't work. Yes, no, yes, maybe. Oh. I'm like, oh, I've completely broke the game. Oh no. Oh, I've completely broken it. I think it thinks I'm in photo mode. Because I can move around, but I can't click anything. Okay, I'm just going to restart the game real quick, folks. Give me 2 minutes. Okay. We just have to reboot it. You know, with these kind of walking simulators, there's always going to be ways to kind of get out of places and go places where you're not supposed to be. So it's alright. It's just the game loads up nice and quick, so it's not a problem. We just go back in. We'll just have a quick look around this level again, because I want to see the interior. We'll skip this. We don't need to see it again. We don't need to see the cinematic shot again. Okay, lovely. We are back. We won't go up there. We'll stay away from that funnel. We saw that one already. Right, let's actually just... You know what? Let's just go inside. Because I really want to see in here. Oh my god. This is stunning. Wow. This would have been like the ball... Okay, like the main room. So like the ballroom. Oh my god, this is all wood, so this would have went up like a candle in the fire. Like this just would have all went up in flames. Grand sum of $225. It was a honeymoon trip. And the receipt outlines the entire voyage, departing in late August and coming back in September. So 225 for like, you know, it's a long enough cruise. Like, they probably were getting their money's worth. It was definitely targeted at the middle class, and definitely they were getting their money's worth. It looks like when we look at the facilities. But this is actually beautiful. Can we? Yeah, I've got to jump down here. We are in the ballroom again. I was probably supposed to go outside and go down a staircase, but I wanted to jump over the railing. That's beautiful. Almost looks like the second class staircase at the stern on Titanic. You know, similar kind of staircase with the elevator in the middle. Very nice. We have another postcard here. Oh, it's a boarding card. 114th crossing to Cuba. Amazing. I'm jumping over all the tables and chairs here. And this is a menu from one of the Ward Line ships. Menu styles changed regularly, and it's not unthinkable to find two menus of the same ship merely 6 months prior. Okay, so they were very, you know, it was during that Art Deco time where like they were constantly, you know, trying to stay on top of trends and stuff. Wow, this is the first class smoking room with the sky. Is that room modelled? Can we go into that room in here? I'd love to see that room. I'll have to have a look in a minute and see. There's an information booklet, so that would have had like a passenger list, and it would have had some facts about the ship and what time the meals are at and where you can talk to the purser and stuff. And here is a picture of the dining saloon. Wow. I want to see what other interiors are modelled as well. There's a lovely skylight there as well. That's beautiful. Up, over again. They like their pink. Very maritime tradition. It was for solicited autographs from one table mates to another. Oh, very nice. People made friends on the voyage. So this is like the this is nice. This is like the reading and writing room again. Yeah. Dinner menu. Very big mix of cuisine there for passengers. They'll be able to enjoy several different things. Now, where do those doors bring us? I assume we go back outside when we go through these. Yes, so we're on the promenade again. Very nice. So we'll go aft and we'll have a look at what's there. I'm not sure if any other interiors are modelled. See, it doesn't really... It doesn't... Oh, okay, so it doesn't tell us where we're going into. That would be something maybe that could be a little bit handy, but... Okay, so we're back. It's the same room again. It just would be a bit handy to kind of know what rooms we were going into.
Behind these windows was the first class smoking room, a spectacular space with a towering arched glass ceiling which glowed with natural light during the day.
So it doesn't. I assume that door brought us in, and we can't go in there, unfortunately. Hopefully, that's something that can get added in the future, because I would love to see what that looks like. There's a dance being held in the ballroom at 9:30 tonight. Oh, we've missed it. My time zone, we're beyond that time. We've missed it. We'll have to wait for the next one. Oh, yeah, we gotta be careful clipping through these things. This is very nice here with the plants and everything. It's kind of like kind of gives me a feel for like the Café Parisien. Is kind of what I'm thinking of when I look at this space. As the sun's coming up again now. Very nice. Lots of the amount of postcards and stuff that has gone in there is incredible. Ah, here's the mast, the stern's mast.
This was the orchestra stage for the deck ballroom.
That's clever.
On the floor in front of you, passengers would have swayed to jazz and foxtrotted well into the night.
That's smart. How the base for where the mast comes down through is also they used it as a stage. That's very smart, clever.
Behind these doors is the lovely deck veranda tea room.
Veranda, so yeah, this is why these chairs are out here too.
Throughout the day. How quaint.
So this is kind of like a veranda cafe, or similar to like what Titanic would have had at its stern too. Very nice. We'll go outside and have a look. Can we risk going up? I don't want to get stuck again. Oh, here we go. Oh my days. That worked surprisingly well. There's the wake. That's very, he's posing. Nice. That's very cool. Let's go hop down. No fall damage.
These putting greens are like the ones on the deck above. A fun little feature for passengers who want to practice their mini golf.
Genius. It's nice to see that on the ship. Oh, Tan, you were ready for a dance, were you? I know. We could have had a blast. We could have put on some trap. There's that stern again. I want to get a look at this stern. I want to go down and have a look. It looks really cool. It kind of looks like, it reminds me of them like Mississippi riverboats. Here's the telegraphs. Lovely. Chadburns in Liverpool. All the telegraphs seem to come from Liverpool.
Bridge was usually off limits to passengers. It was really a working space where crew could coordinate arrival and departure because ships had got so long they needed somebody stationed at the stern to make sure nothing got hit.
Always. Oh, dual steering wheel. Very nice. Ah, it's Brown's Patent telemotor. So that's the same as what we would have seen on the Olympic class. The Brown's Patent telemotor. Very nice. Liam's done a fantastic job on the modelling.
The docking bridge was usually off limits to
That's
passengers.
the same
It was
quote
really a
again.
working space where crew could coordinate arrival and departure because ships had got so long they needed somebody stationed at the stern to make sure nothing got hit.
What are these? Are these like these lights?
Havana in summer can get very, very hot. But Morro Castle didn't have an outdoor pool. Instead, passengers could cool off with these multi-headed showers. How
Oh! Wow. They're showers. Okay. That's wasn't expecting that.
This skylight looked down into the tourist class smoking room and provided that much needed light and air so its denizens didn't choke on their own smoke.
Now this is what I wanted to see. That's lovely. Beautiful. If the sun was just a little bit lower in the sky so you could see it. It will be in a minute. There we go. I might have to get another photo of this. This is the sun just glowing is very nice. Joseph and Claire Drummond. A Philadelphia couple who were married just days before they set sail on the Morro Castle. Claire's sister recalled that they had such a beautiful wedding and the breakfast afterward at the Hotel Normandy. When they went away, they looked at the happiest couple in the world. From Havana, Joseph sent his father a postcard saying they were having a swell time. But before the ship set off again, I read that too fast. So they were on the ship when the fire broke out, but they both survived, fortunately. Okay. Wow. It's beautiful. The lighting is really, like, it's worth the performance hit, honestly. Like, it really is.
This door led to the tourist class smoking room. Cigars, anyone?
No, not a smoker. We have this. Oh, we have another picture. Not going to try and pronounce that name, but he was an 18-year-old champion swimmer from Cuba. 5'10", good looking, who was travelling up to New York to begin college. He was undoubtedly excited to make a new start and befriend many people on the trip. Nice. Fair play to him,
This
as
door
we
led
say.
into the doctor's office. In fact, the ship's doctor had his own stateroom right next to the office, so that he could care for any passenger at any time, even in the middle of the night.
We have a doctor on call. We love that. Beautiful. So I think we're definitely we're moving through this way quicker, and I think we're nearly done. A group of friends are posing on the sun deck with all the canvas up. This would have been kind of covering up. The canvas would have been strewn on these to kind of protect people from the sun. It's very important because especially if they're going to Havana, it's going to be extremely warm.
If golf wasn't your thing, you could try your hand at table tennis.
Amazing.
In fact, in the 1930s, ping pong was all the rage, and Morro Castle boasted tables where passengers could face off.
It'd be great fun. Bit of ping pong. And there's a promotional thing for the cruises to Havana, and their showcase in Mexico City. It's amazing. Yeah, I think it's. I love how they've added like a ship in, because you know most people, they just talk about the transatlantic route, and I think it's nice to see a ship that didn't do the transatlantic route, like it went a completely different way. So I think it's really nice to see games and shenanigans are afoot here when the cruise director Bob Smith in the bottom left is with official proceedings on a microphone. Smith was a passenger favourite who turned out to be a hero in the making when the ship caught fire. He was one of the last to leave the ship. They're playing on the tightrope there. That's incredible. It looks like a really fun time. He looks like he can hype up the crowd.
Morro Castle needed to keep its passengers entertained. It proudly boasted some putting greens, so some sporting folks could practice before hitting the green back ashore. Behind here was the children's playroom, no doubt one of the most popular rooms, with parents of young kids who could then go on to enjoy their day safe in the knowledge their children were having a great time as well. This door led into a main entrance for first class, the aft main staircase. It connected A deck with D deck way below, and just in case you didn't feel like stretching your legs, a single elevator was provided for convenience.
We saw that in the postcard earlier. I think this is the same room again, but just to confirm, because I don't want to miss anything. Yeah, this is the upper level. We jumped down there already. Beautiful modelling again. Oh! Is this just a corridor, or did we miss something? Oh, can I pick that up? There's a lunch menu. Lamb chops, roast beef, pig's feet, corned beef, vegetable salad, lemon ice cream. Oh, it's very sweet tooth on that. And go out back onto the deck. It's beautiful again with the lights glowing, kind of giving off that warm hue. We've ran these decks already, so let's try and get up onto the top. Because I think there's a few things we can... Are we allowed up there? I'm sure we are. I just have to find a way up there. Might have to do a bit of parkour. Let's see what we can do here. Can I get up into... What would be the best way to do this? How can I get up top? Okay. Ooh, maybe we're not allowed up there. It looks like there was a collision. Yeah, I don't think we are allowed up there. I don't see anything. Oh, no. Well, there's a postcard there, so, or a picture. We can definitely get up there. We just have to find the right way to go. Oh, there we go. I forced my way up. And once again, like, I love how pretty it looks when it gets dark, but it's just very hard to see, so I am going to just turn it back a bit again. I'll turn it back to, like, morning time. And we'll make... we'll clear up the weather a bit. There we go. Now, that's lovely. That is gorgeous.
This skylight allowed fresh light to stream into one of the main passenger stairwells leading deep inside the ship.
Lovely, and another one here.
This pair of great big skylights allowed fresh air and light into the gorgeous first-class smoking room below. Obviously, this was a big deal, because with all those cigars and cigarettes, without fresh air, things would get, well, smoky.
Here's a map of Havana. Colourful map of Havana was supplied to show tourists where to go and what to see. Very impressive. As you can see, so that's where the piers would have been. That's where they would have deboarded, and they would have had all this place to explore. Amazing. Lots of vents and capstans here. I'm going to stay away from the ladders of the funnels because we don't want... Can we go up here? Is there any secrets up here for us? There is. I just have to find a way up there. I'm trying to jump around. I'm sure there's a ladder somewhere if I looked properly. Like, I'm sure there are ladders about.
These skylights allowed natural light to pour into the big first-class spaces like the lounge from above. These skylights allowed natural light to pour into the big first-class spaces like the lounge from above. I hope you're not afraid of heights, because there's a 3-story
Three-story drop,
directly
wow.
below.
There's a postcard in the lifeboat there. Oh, and we missed it. Wow. That was embarrassing. 2 seconds. I think it was just in one. It was only in one of them. This one. Oh, there we go. Nice postcard for the Ward Line's vessels. This is one of their older vessels, it looks like. So this is one of the ships that the Morro Castle and her sister ship would have replaced. Okay. And there's the storm. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god, why is that so loud? Oh dear. Okay.
This covered staircase was used by crew to easily navigate about the ship. It led straight down to the first-class cabins and hallways on A deck below.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Oh, we saw that one already. I'm going to put our captain character here so he can be nice and safe. I'm going to have a quick look around in the photo room. If there's anything you want to see again, I know there's nobody in the chat right now, but for people who are watching later on, if there's anything that they want to see, be sure to put it in the comments, because we can always do another one. I'd love to have somebody on in a future stream to discuss. Like it's you know, it's much easier than hearing me babble for 2 hours to myself here. Like if we get someone else on, we can have a jolly good time. So there we go. Beautiful model. Like Liam did a fantastic job. I just want to get some nice photos in case I upload something later and I have a thumbnail. We saw that that's the whites for the sun. Cool, okay, so I think that's the level. So that means it's time to look at the final level for this evening, which is the fire level for the Morro Castle. So yeah, the Bismarck is coming soon. I can't remember if they announced a date for now. I don't think it... Probably in a couple of months, I would imagine, is when that'll get released. But we have one more level to look at. Alright, it's a bit eerie. It looks terrifying. So we'll see. We have a new special here as well. There's some footage of it before the tragedy. Just one of the silent films. Oh wow, so there's footage of it engulfed in flames. That's amazing footage. Wow. Reminds me of the Queen Elizabeth when she caught fire in Hong Kong. Wow, the superstructure is completely burned. And the lifeboats are all thrown all over the place. Okay. So we have to have a look now and see what this is going to look like. September 8th, 1934, a fire breaks out inside the Morro in the first class writing room. It must have been something like a cigarette or something, or an electrical, maybe electrical as well. I don't think it was deliberate. Oh my god. Okay, we have oh wow, we have quotes. Okay, I might do, you know what, I might do a separate video on this once I learn a bit more about it. She's rescued through this very cabin window. I'm one of only 7 people to escape on a lifeboat. Wow. So you can actually see the lifeboats out there that have been lowered. He was loaded boat 3 and ordered it over the side, but on his way down it became stuck. The crew abandoned it and moved forward to get to boat 1. ready. Instead, boat 3 was lowered later after another group had tried again. Oh, okay, I do not want to fall off. Wow. Nan Helm was awakened by the smoke in her cabin and rushed to the lifeboats. Wow, just this is really eerie. Oh my god, and we can go inside as well. Like, we can see what the burning looks like inside. Lifeboat number 1 was in the middle of being launched when the first class passenger was dramatically pulled from her burning cabin window. She was hauled into the boat and it went over the side, holding just 3 other passengers and some 27 of the ship's crew. Wow. We'll go inside in a minute, but this is a lot, I have to say. This is... You can see how the fire's coming out of the capstans, because it's like coming from the rooms below. He shouted orders from the bridge, but his voice could hardly be heard over the roar of the wind and the commotion below all the lifeboats. To his disdain, the boats were loaded mostly with crew and launched before he could order them to be filled with passengers. Wow. So nearly all the crew were gone when the passengers really needed to be evacuated. The captain died suddenly a few hours after the fire broke out and his body was left in his room pending an autopsy. One that step became mirrored in suspicion. The crew were deeply unhappy and poorly he was poisoned by the radio operator. A troubled individual who was eventually being charged with a double homicide for killing his friend and daughter. Wilmot's remains were found after the fire. Cause death could not be determined, with his passing of command felt to the unpopular Chief Officer William Worms. Jeez. Can we go up to Monkey Island? Yep. This is very eerie. I hope that the audio is alright. I hope you can hear me over all the wind and the storm. But this is a lot. Like you can see the superstructures already starting to get damaged by the fire. We can't change we can do photo mode, but we can't change the weather, as I imagine. You see there's electrical breaking out as well. Alright, we'll go inside and we'll have a look. Oh god. Just the fire alarm blaring out and the lights flickering. Wow, that is that's trippy. Oh my goodness. So the fire originally started down here in the writing room. We have to get down there. Can I not jump off the... Can I not just quickly jump down like I did before? There we go. So this is where the fire originally... Oh no, did I get stuck? No. The fire originally broke out here. It looks like we can't get inside because this is where the fire started. Wow. It's so bright. Oh, we can actually go in. Oh my god. Well, okay. I feel like we shouldn't be in here because, well, all the books have been burnt to a crisp. That's extremely bright. I'm sitting here, I only have a few lights on, and the bright orange is not good for my eyes. Wow. But it's look at how the lightning just flashed through the window there. It's terrifying. Second Officer Clarence Hackley had come down to see what was happening, and then, shocked by the state of affairs, rushed back to inform the bridge, but he neglected to order the ship's fire doors to be shut so the flames could creep out to the passageways and public rooms unchecked. God. Yeah, this is Wow. Just, oh my goodness. Just the, oh my god, look at that. Seeing the flames through the window there, that is terrifying. Oh my goodness. That, wow, that is such a unique view. Something I hope I never see with my own eyes in real life. That is, oh my god. We're back at the stern here again. Something here about the plants. We have another passenger testimony here as well. Oh my god. That wind is terrifying. The noise, just the noises and everything is... It's horrifying what's going on. And how we're just walking around it as well is terrifying. Look at that. I think we've seen everything. So I think I'm just gonna leave it on. I'm gonna get a photo of this, and I think that's all we're gonna look at, because it's hard to look at this, because remembering that like hundreds of people were on this ship while this was happening, trying to get away from it all. Wow. We'll just have a look around. Look at that. There's the windows again, the burning windows. Wow. I'm blown away by this, truly. But I think on that note we're gonna wrap it up for the current version of Ship Explorer. So we looked at everything. We looked at all of the available levels that are available to us right now. There are more coming in the Bismarck. We have the Bismarck coming. Apparently, the Empress of Ireland is coming. I'm not entirely sure about that, though. I do know that it's coming to Grand Voyage, which is the kind of... This is kind of like the taster for Grand Voyage, and then Grand Voyage is going to be coming later on, which will boast more features, more ships, more locations and all that as well. So I highly recommend that if you have a PC and you think you can run it, definitely check it out on Steam. It's it's on sale right now for the first few weeks. So if you're looking to get it, if you're looking to get into it now. Get it on sale while you can and explore it for yourself. I know that the team is hard at work. They're taking feedback for any bugs or glitches. If you find any, you can report it to them, and they're going to get on it. They actually had just released a patch before I started streaming this, so I was on the latest version at the time. But definitely, if you can, give it a look. I feel like there's nothing else like it available at the moment. Like, we do have, of course, Honor and Glory and Patroness of the Mediterranean, but you're kind of stuck on one ship, and as you know, we had to wait quite a while for them, and it was nice to get this. This was kind of unexpected. It was only announced a few months ago, and they kept their word and they brought it out. So we have to thank them for that, and they've done a really great job, and I can't wait to see what comes next, in terms of the DLC. So with that, guys, thanks for coming in. I know this is a bit different. Like, we haven't done one of these really, so it was a lot of trial and error. If we do another one, I'll try and get someone else on to talk to, so we can kind of have a bit more interactability, and we can answer questions through the chat and stuff like that. But yeah, thanks everyone so much for watching. I know there's going to be more people watching it kind of after it's been live, because I know more people enjoy watching it when the broadcast is over. But thanks everyone for watching. I'm sure we'll be back again doing another one real soon. So I'll talk to you then. So take care.